Mr. Keynote Speaker.
Hello. Hey, everybody. Here in Boston. It's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. You did a great job delivering that keynote today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not just saying that just to be nice, but I actually had someone that said
It was
that.
fun. I figure if I'm having fun, you're having fun.
Yeah. I like that it was very level-headed. I like how you acknowledge that. Try things out yourself.
Yeah.
Don't just
Don't
take the
believe
vendor
anything
claims.
anyone says.
Yeah. I even say that to customers. I'm like, don't just believe everything that I'm posting. Try it out yourself.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I can make mistakes.
Exactly.
Your situation might be different than what
Yeah.
I'm covering. So I'm with David Meyer, SVP of Product at Databricks. And this is our third time we've done an interview. It's an honor. But I'm not going to ask nice questions today. Well, half of them are nice.
Make them hard.
Yeah.
Make them interesting. So,
Yeah. Keep it real.
Yeah.
You got to keep things real.
Yeah.
So you've heard the stat about only 5% of AI projects are successful or something like that. Whatever number vendors.
That's even true of my own projects.
Yeah, that's true. And so the question is, if only 5% of AI projects are successful, why such a big push for them?
Yeah, I think that it all depends on your sample size, right? I mean, the whole idea of how Gen AI is transforming everything is you can try a lot of things, right? So, I mean, what's the denominator? Every whim everyone had that they did a little vibe thing in and threw away. So what we find is when approached like a software development project with a clear, measurable business goal, it's the majority that make it into production. Because, I mean, if you think about a lot of the things that distinguishes the Databricks approach is really focusing on the kind of the eval framework. So you can prove every response is correct. And then, the techniques to make it efficient and low cost at scale. And the ability to swap models as new models evolve and, A/B test them and stuff. And when you have those capabilities and you're, driving a use case that has business value, if you don't get into production, it's your fault. Like, you gave up too quickly. The techniques are there. Now, again, if you're trying to do something beyond the reach of what the current technology provides, that's something else. But if it's one of these knowledge extraction from documents, as long as you approach it correctly, it will go into production.
So do you feel, and I actually think Databricks has overall had a level-headed approach to this, but do you think that part of the problem is, to your point, it hasn't been problem-centric? It's been like, hey, it's just technology. Like, here's some technology, try it out.
Everybody's freaked out, right? Because they know that AI is going to transform every industry, and they don't want to be left behind. And their board is saying AI first. You're an AI first. Everybody AI, and so people have a lot of bad ideas. Because the whole idea...
I don't have any bad ideas. I don't know about you, but
I have tons of bad ideas. But the whole idea of ideation is you're going to have a lot of bad ideas. And you're going to have some great ideas. But I think the key is honing in on the ones that have kind of the, it's not beyond the reach of the current technology and it has true business value.
Yeah.
And then if you focus on those, you get them into production.
Yeah. And personally, I think that failure has been, to your point, lack of problem centricity. But on the side of grace towards all those failed projects is it allows you to fail fast.
Fail fast and learn.
Okay, here's a fun one. Generally speaking, there is a perception that Databricks is a complicated platform.
Oh.
Do you believe that perception, A, was ever valid, B, is valid today? And I have my own theories, but curious on your thoughts.
I mean, for sure. Like the irony, it started out very simple.
Yeah.
Truly. And then to solve customer problems, we added a lot of complexity to it. And it became a complicated platform. But the irony is it was simpler than the next best alternative. I mean, to run Spark at the kind of scale we do, it's hard.
Yeah.
And to do it cost effectively, suddenly you have to use spot instances, right? But then they don't always succeed. And if they can't be a driver, they have to be a worker. So you have to percentage spot allocation. So when you're running in people's own environment, we started for obvious reasons and people's concerns about their data to run in their own cloud environment on machines in their VPC or VNet in their cloud. And to do that at scale, cost effectively, is necessarily complicated. As we move to things like serverless, we can make it truly simple. And so the newer capabilities we have, there's serverless compute, serverless storage, all these things. There's full serverless workspaces. Click, boom, there's a workspace. Don't need any cloud credentials to create them. And then we have the free edition and all these other things, so you can click and get going in a couple seconds. So you can choose the simple path of Databricks, and everything's done for you, and it has this AI magic in it. And a lot of our customers that started the complex path are now moving to the simple path because it accelerates what they do. Now, the other thing I'll say is we keep adding things, but we don't add things out of like wanting,
On a whim.
On a whim or out of some, world domination philosophy. We need to make it simpler. Like when you put the warehouse in the lake, create a lake house, it became simpler. When you can create a vector search index off of things in the lake, it's simpler. Now, OLTP was always something you had to write code to move data back and forth. Now with Lakebase,
Yeah.
it's simpler. So we're doing these things because it makes it simpler. But every time you add something that was inherently complex, databases, similar since the 1970s, 80s, it's inherently complex, it becomes simpler, but then people have to wrap their heads around the lakehouse having more stuff in it, which is inherently complicated. So it gets simpler, more complicated, simpler, more complicated, but ultimately, like, agent bricks are so much simpler than writing Python code to figure out all your own model selection and chunking algorithm and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited about agent bricks.
Yeah,
I think it has a lot of potential to really go from, it's funny, I actually had recently written an article where I called out basically like, hey, you have an engineering triangle. You have speed, cost, and quality. LLMs thrive in speed. For now, at least, costs are good. But I think that the area that they naturally struggle with is quality.
Yeah.
And so I outlined like a bunch of other stuff.
Cost at scale.
Yes.
Because people start with the state-of-the-art models.
Yeah.
And oftentimes you have to loop in some small language models,
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, though, like, but that addressing the quality, that's the complicated part. And I wrote in this article some of the things that you could do to do it. I even looped in Matei for a hot second just to give me his thoughts in there. And then afterwards, because I hadn't spent much time actually on agent bricks, I was like, oh, or you could just use agent bricks.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, agent bricks is trying to automate all the complicated hard stuff oriented around quality. It's all kind of, agent bricks is kind of like I mentioned downstairs, it's kind of like tricking you into giving us the information to automate the hard stuff.
Yeah.
But it's all in order to have quality. It's the whole thing is about eval frameworks, LLM judges, and the things you need.
Being able to trust the output.
Yeah. And be able to provably trust it. Trust and verify.
Yeah. But going back to the simplicity or the complicatedness.
Still too hard.
Word. Yeah. But
I'm mortified by some things in the product that are still too complicated. But we're working,
But and I will say, though, one of the things that the more that I've realized is it can feel complicated, or it can be complicated because there's just so much that you can do in one platform.
Yeah.
So you can learn one platform, have a little bit of a steeper learning curve, but learn one platform where you're going to have 80-90% of the things that you're probably going to need to do. Or you can learn a bunch of different platforms that perhaps each one with a smaller learning curve.
Yeah.
Play IT in the middle of the process, connecting all the platforms together. And
I mean, that's exactly the riddle. When we add things to the lake house, it becomes more complicated because there's more abstractions to think about.
Yeah.
And then we kind of fuse them together and make it simpler. But you're right. You can have just a piece. If you just want to have, a vector search, the learning curve for vector search, it's not that bad. Yeah. But when you have the whole thing and you can do everything, you have to figure out which pieces to learn first.
Now,
and you never have to think about vector searches with Agentbricks.
Yeah,
does it for you.
I've never actually set up a vector search from scratch, so I'm happy to not have to deal with that part myself. This is toss up for you. In 1 minute or less,
okay,
share your perspective on why customers should choose Databricks over any other platform available.
So your data is not going to shrink, and your ambitions are not going to shrink. So having a provable, open, scalable system where you can do everything from data and AI, once you get rolling in it, that investment will just pay off more and more dividends. The benefits compound the more you use it, and the architecture of it with Unity Catalog tracking everything you're doing allows AI inside the platform to make it work better every day. The more you use it, the more it feels your love, the more it loves you back. And that's why you should use Databricks.
That's fair. Now, I think about it, I just don't like having to manage a bunch of platforms together.
Yeah.
That's honestly, like, bottom line. Anyone tells me what do you like the most about Databricks, I'm like, out of the box value.
And if there's things you don't like, we want to talk to you about them.
Yeah.
We want to engage with you and figure out how to smooth the path.
Yeah. I was doing some math. I've probably been, and honestly, even before I was a Databricks MVP or anything like that, even when I was working at smaller companies with like $150 of spend, I had some feedback sessions with Databricks folks.
Yeah.
They take the feedback.
Because the thing is, if you're only focused on the large customers, you'll kind of be operating with the rearview mirror. I mean, there's some some of the most Vanguard customers are the large customers. I mean, they're incredibly agile. But you lose the broader perspective, of the makers that are just, coming into
exploring new
existence
technology
right now.
and whatnot. Yeah. All right. It's a fun one. There are lots of industry buzzwords.
I love buzzwords. I love acronyms.
Are you up for the challenge on giving me a one-sentence definition on like 5 of them?
Yeah. Let's go.
Data observability.
It's the ability to understand what's happening in a complex system as a lot of data goes through it.
Data governance.
Data governance is the ability to control who can access what data and the systems to prove attestation-wise that it was complied with.
Fair. Perhaps my favorite. I was talking with Franco once upon a time on this topic, and he asked me that question. It stumped me because I was like, well, it depends on what vendor you're asking. Semantic models.
Oh, what your words mean.
So so you wouldn't say business logic?
So data is basically every organization struggles with data literacy.
Yeah.
The data can mean different things in different contexts, different clauses and things like that. And it's being able to translate all of your business data to meaningful answers to the different types of people in your company. Like to you, Java might mean code. To a salesperson, it might mean a cup of Starbucks.
I was gonna say, you said that. I was like, my first thought was coffee, not Java.
That's an old example.
I know Java. I hate Java though. That's the thing. So it's traumatic. So I just like to think of
a good travel destination.
Yeah, wait, is there a place called Java?
Yeah.
So you know of Lake Seb, you know of some place called Java.
I think
That's
so.
impressive.
I think so.
But long story short, what the words mean for your business, right? What's the definition you gave for semantic model?
What your words mean.
What your words mean. Okay. I'm gonna share one that it's a fun one because I feel like 95% of the folks in the industry don't believe that it's something that's attainable. I've done it at one company, so I believe it is attainable.
All right.
Self-service analytics. So I guess let me take that back. Self-service analytics, one sentence definition, and can it be attainable, truly attainable?
So self-service analytics is the ability for a normal in a company, a normal meaning someone that hasn't studied the different data models your data exists in, to be able to extract business insights by using the system. So without having to go to a data analyst, they can get answers. And is it attainable? I would say absolutely, more so now than it ever was, because of all the emergent semantics that systems like Unity Catalog can capture, and then the ability to use natural language to talk to the data and get accurate, provable answers. And that's kind of wasn't even there 2 years ago.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that people don't just consider the ability to export to Excel service analytics, because I think
I think some very exciting announcements about Excel are coming. I know you've seen some of the previews, but
I try not to give away anything, but as long as you mention it, I don't get in trouble, so it's all good.
Google Sheets for the win.
Yeah, you love Google. You love your Google Sheets.
Anything you can do in Excel, I can do in Google Sheets.
Okay, we'll have to do a
bake-off.
A bake-off, yeah.
I can do it quicker too.
Just gonna use ChatGPT. So MCP servers.
MCP servers. I mean, good Lord. Like, first of all, love MCP. What is MCP? Model Context Protocol, an ability to talk programmatically to a model or agent tool. But it's funny on two levels. First of all, I've never seen a standard be proposed that had like unfettered uptake by vendors all over the world. It's really exciting. But by the other, it's not magic. It's just an API. Like garbage in, garbage out, and a lot of times you use these agent systems that have like 12 tools attached via MCP, and you ask it a question and you see that like you have to sit there for minutes. It tries different shit and doesn't work, It's like MCP is incredibly powerful when used in the right way for known systems to talk to known tools with like the right information as to when to use them so it can be efficient.
Yeah. Whenever the whole MCP thing started, I was getting really annoyed because I was like, hey, this is just like an API that talks to chat.
It's a WSDL.
LLMs or whatever.
It's a WSDL, dude.
Yeah, but I'm glad that the hype around that only lasted for like a month on LinkedIn. So
yeah.
Only like 1 month.
Now, where's your agent registry? Where's your MCP registry? How are you chaining your MCP registry?
What about
A2A? What about OBO and MCP? What about the extension so you can,
Yeah, and more importantly, like the governance around the whole thing. I think that's just that's fun.
Oh,
thing.
Your network egress controls. Oops,
Yeah. Do you feel? I guess this is actually a good question. Well, I think it's a good question, if I can humbly say so. Do you feel like in the rush for AI, a lot of people are giving up proper governance more than they were before?
Yes, there's all these kind of. I mean,
it's scary, man.
It's. I don't want to be too overstating it. Like, governance is funny.
Yeah.
You like Excel.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's all these governed systems that you use Excel to talk to.
Yeah.
And then you can just email the Excel.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like
there goes your company
ultimately
sales.
Governance has to involve cultural norms and training and all these other things. But I think the danger is it gets back to you talked about observability.
Yeah.
Knowing how your system operates. You don't want to have a bunch of point-to-point MCP stuff.
Yeah.
You have to have all your MCP servers registered in a place where you know how they're used, for example. And we're moving there with Unity Catalog. There could be other systems too, but it's point-to-point web of connections is death for a production system.
Favorite customer success story of the year in 1 minute or less?
Oh, I gotta think for 30 seconds to pick it.
Yeah.
And
it's not PyLake.com.
See, I want to talk about something inspiring at a humanity level. But I'm not like people saving money. That's not interesting.
I think it's real though. I
think I talked to a customer in Sao Paulo who is, so you know, like a lot of modern drug discovery.
Yeah.
I'm going to use all the wrong words, but there's like peptides or there's like tiny
Yeah,
proteins or something like
yeah,
that.
like one of the components of protein, because protein has
Something like that.
many
And so
amino
there's
acids,
all
I
these
think,
new opportunities for this. And long story short, this customer basically is trying out all these new peptide things without a wet lab at all. It's entirely based on a computational model that they've developed together with Databricks and some other tools. And it's like the acceleration possibility of drug discovery, but also the dramatically lowering cost of the discovery process, which has to be baked into the drug cost, makes the new drugs coming out in some of these pipelines, available for, any income level, et cetera, around the world. So like some of the step functions they're going through to replace, physical with digital are really inspiring.
I'm sure I could keep asking you questions, but I know you only have 3 minutes.
All right, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Always good to be with the orange hat, and thank you for watching, everyone. Don't trust anything we say.
Test it out yourself.
Try Databricks Free Edition and see for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, we're rolling.
We're rolling.
Back up, back up, back up.
Technically, it's messing it up now. It's Mr. Keynote Speaker.
Hey, everybody. Boston, Data and I World Tour.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Yeah, here, let me get rid of this just because it's gonna make me go crazy. And actually went a long way with this customer, so I don't like how that part came out, but I'm just gonna edit it out.
Yeah, you just,
okay,
yeah. Use
Try to plug Seb in there, and I failed in that.
Zeb Lake.
Seb Lake.
Lake Zeb?
No, well, is there an actual lake called Seb?
But probably you should buy it.
Okay, well, Mal, if you're watching this, now you know.
You put a house on it at least.
Yes, our headquarters are in Lake Seb. That was good, man. Thank you.
That was good.
Always fun to do that with you.